Once you get the Glidecam balanced for your camera to be sitting in the vertical position, you'll now do what's called the drop test. And you want to be very careful while doing the drop test and be sure that there's nobody nearby to get hit by it or any obstructions in the way of doing this, because you could damage the Glidecam or hurt somebody. What you do is lift the pole arm up until it's parallel to the ground at the horizontal position. Then you drop the pole arm and watch how fast it swings down to vertical position. Now when doing the drop test, it's about the first time it goes from the horizontal to vertical position. You're not testing how long it takes to swing and then balance itself out. You're testing how long it takes to swing from the horizontal to vertical position. The point of this is to get the camera so that it doesn't move much when it's at the vertical position. If you drop from the horizontal position during the drop test and it swings really fast, that means that you're really bottom heavy and the Glidecam is going to be swinging about whenever you move it around, and your camera will be swinging all about with it. The whole point is to get it perfectly balanced between top and bottom so that when you do this drop test, it's nice and smooth and slow. That way, when you're moving the Glidecam around, it doesn't shift around a lot and the bottom isn't swinging the top part around or the top isn't swinging the bottom around. So once again, to do the drop test, you want to lift the arm up and drop it and count 2 full seconds. 1 1,000, 2 1,000. If it takes 2 full seconds to go the 90 degrees from horizontal to vertical, then it's really balanced. However, most of the times it's not going to be like that right off the bat. So what do? Depends on whether it's moving slower or faster than you need it to. If when doing the drop test it swings really fast, like a fast fulcrum, that means you're bottom heavy. You'll either want to remove weight from the bottom so that it swings slower, or you can lift the telescoping arm up. When lowering or raising the telescopic arm, you need to be really careful. Keep a leg or an arm on it at all times. If you unloosen the telescoping arm without having a hand on it, it can fall out completely. When this happens, the Glidecam will become top heavy and the camera can swing down and bash into people or the stand. It could be really bad. Not to mention that telescoping arm could have just fallen out onto somebody's foot. Just be very aware of when you're loosening the telescopic arm to keep a hand on it. Now the reasons to adjust the telescoping arm are to either add weight to the fulcrum or remove it. If you extend the telescoping arm, it's going to swing faster. So if you are doing your drop test and you pull it to the horizontal position, and when you let go, your camera starts to be the one swinging down, it means you're top heavy still. You either need to add weights to the bottom or extend that telescoping arm. If you extend the telescoping arm, it will swing faster, like a faster fulcrum. Sometimes when adjusting the telescopic arm, you can change the orientation of the weights in alignment with the sled. The bottom sled and the top sled should always be facing the same direction. If you find after adjusting your telescopic arm that is no longer in alignment, simply lean the gimbal back and look down the sleds and then adjust turning left and right until both sleds are lined up accordingly. If the sleds are not in alignment, this will throw your balance off and you will not be able to get smooth shots. Now once again, if your drop time is too fast, you need to raise the telescopic arm or remove weights from the bottom. If your drop time is too slow, you need to lower the telescopic arm or add more weight to the bottom. Now, when adding or removing weights from the bottom sled, you need to be sure to keep a hand underneath the weights as you unscrew the washer from the top. If you unscrew the washer and aren't holding on, the screw could fall out and all the weights could slide off with it. So be sure to just keep a hand on the bottom of the weights underneath the sled as you unscrew the washer, as you unscrew the nut and remove the washer. Typically, when I'm adding or removing weight, I like to remove a weight from each end. Otherwise, you will disrupt the balance at the top of the gimbal. If you remove just weights from the front end, it's going to get back heavy and pull the Glidecam out of alignment. So anytime you're adding or removing weights, be sure to add and remove a weight from each side, or add weights to each side at the same time. This will ensure that you're not interrupting any of the fine-tuned balancing you did at the top of the gimbal. To know that you got your Glidecam properly balanced, when you do a drop test, it will take about 2 full seconds to come to the bottom position. Remember, when doing your drop test, to keep a hand there to catch the swinging arm so it doesn't swing out and hit somebody or something. Now, if you're using a DSLR, you're going to want to use less weights on the bottom and have the pole raised up a bit higher. If you're using a heavier camera, such as an HMC 150, you'll want to have more weights on the bottom and extend that telescopic arm out, because the camera will make the entire system be top heavy. Now, every time you balance the Glidecam, it's for a specific camera setup. If you swap out lenses, that's going to change the weight distribution between the top and bottom sleds, meaning you have to add or remove more weights or raise or lower that telescopic arm. And additionally, you'll need to redo all your fine-tuned balancing, loosening the 7 gold screws and using the Allen key to get it to that perfect vertical position where it's not leaning forward or back or left or right. Once your drop time is a good 2 full seconds and your fine-tuned balancing can't make it get any more vertical, your Glidecam is as balanced as it's gonna get. It's just a guess and check thing until it gets to a position that you feel comfortable with.